I have a lot of trauma from my childhood with food. So I've been struggling with this, since I was little. I remember being told, suck in your belly, you're fat, no man's going to want you. I heard this my entire life. And in our sessions, we talked about this. And you told me, but you're no longer 6. Now you're an adult and you get to fix this.
Hello and welcome to another new episode of Emotional Eating Unwrapped. I'm your host, Alana Kessler, and if you are new to me, I am a registered dietitian. I've been in the health and wellness space for 20 plus years, and I've worked clinically. I've done all the things, but my passion is really helping women and men, actually all people, really just find love with their body, lose weight, reconnect with themselves, overcome any kind of emotional or addictive behaviors with food, and just really live your best life. So if you are here and you are new or you are a seasoned listener, welcome. And we're going to get into our episode today with one of my most inspiring clients, Jamille. Jamille is here today. Alec actually reached out to me and said, I really want to come on your podcast and talk about my journey. And that's really what we're here to talk about, because I love that. And I'm just so excited that you're at the place where you are it's just flowing out of you and you're ready to share with everyone. And you look unbelievable. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, and if you are someone who watches on YouTube, please subscribe. Also, if you listen to us on Spotify and Apple, please subscribe there, leave us a rating and a review. And if you would like a free one-on-one session with me, you can actually leave a review on Apple, screenshot that, send that to podcast@bewellbyak.com, or you can just DM me at bewellbyak.com on Instagram, and you will be entered in to win that one-on-one session with me. But we're going to talk about Jamille today. So hi.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you're here. And honestly, I just want to hear what you're up to. I want to start, just tell us where you are right now. And then I want you to go into a little bit of your journey. And, we started working together, I believe 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think so.
And so it has been, your journey has definitely been, windy, curvy. You got pregnant in the middle of it. So let's talk about that.
So I think I stopped coaching with you about a year ago. I was just thinking, so around Thanksgiving that I took that cruise. And I have lost another 30 pounds since then.
So what's the total weight loss for you?
99. I wish I could say 100, but I'm like a pound away. So by the time this is posted, probably I'll be at 100 pounds lost.
Unreal. And also, I also want to talk, a whole person basically. And I want to just commend and just like give you flowers for the weight loss. But I know that the weight loss is just one part of the story for you.
Yeah.
But as we have always talked about, weight loss is a big part of it. Healing your relationship with food, that's so important. But a lot of women want weight loss. A lot of people want weight loss. And it's possible to have both. And it's important to keep that intention in your mind about weight loss and not be ashamed or afraid to have that goal. And I feel like I really want you to share that part of your journey too with the people listening today.
Yeah. So for someone, I used to weigh 322 pounds. So I didn't fit on any rides. As you remember, I was always tired. I ate whatever I wanted. Water wasn't even a thing. And that person compared to this person, I am just so much happier. And being in both bodies, I'm sorry to say, I am much happier in your smaller body. Like no doubt about that. It doesn't even compare, the life that I have now compared to my old life. It seems like ages ago, but it wasn't that long ago. And you wanted me to share something. So yesterday, fresh example, we had our Thanksgiving lunch at the office, and there was like this abundance of food. And years ago, this would have broken me. It would have turned into a binge where I would have spiraled, and this one meal would have turned into a 3-week binge. So I knew about it coming into it. So we talked so much about planning, and my days I planned ahead of time. So my Monday and Tuesday, I got my fruit in. I didn't overdo it on dessert. I chose not to have dessert a couple of days because I wanted to have a good sized dessert yesterday. I had a light breakfast. I ate the one meal, and I probably ate a little more than I normally would have, but I didn't, go overboard or kept eating, had seconds and thirds and fourths, or kept eating throughout the day. I had that one meal, and then I had a good sized dessert. I didn't feel hungry in the afternoon to have a snack, so there was no need. I waited to be hungry for dinner because I was like, if I'm not too hungry, I might have, maybe fruit or something light. And I did get hungry. My stomach started growling because he also taught me what hunger was. Around 6:30, okay, I can have my dinner. So I made my poke plate and plenty of water, had my vitamins, and for dessert, I had a handful of berries. And that's it. It was a good day. And then this morning, I woke up at 5. I had my walk. I'm going to work out later. And that's it. I had out of my mind. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I missed on anything. And it's amazing, this mindset that I have now.
Yeah, do you like when people say eating like a normal person, is that what you imagine that it would be like?
No. I thought that, no, I didn't even know what I thought because I had all these ideas before. I thought that like I would just have to, make this effort and lose the weight and then go back to eating like crap again. It's not. Like life is about so much more than that. Food is like one part of life. There's so many other things going on.
Can you just go back to where you were and, when we first started and what you feel like your struggles were? Because I think it's really important to, really hear the investment in time and just, the ups and downs of the journey to get to where you are right now, which obviously is in a place where you feel so just comfortable with food, with yourself, no drama, like nothing really. And it's an earned, secure attachment with food, right? So can you talk a little bit about where you started?
Yeah, so I feel like I probably need 3 hours, but I'm going to summarize. I have a lot of trauma from my childhood with food. And in our sessions, we talked about this. It's not fair to me. I've been doing this way since I was 6 years old. And you told me, but you're no longer 6. Now you're an adult and you get to fix this. You didn't say in those words, but that's what I got. So I've been struggling with this. I did not know anything different. Since I was little, I remember being told, suck in your belly, you're fat, no man's going to want you. I heard this my entire life. And then in my 20s, I dated a whole lot of abusive men because that's what I thought I deserved. I had to do a lot of work to find an equal partner and just men that weren't abusive, really. So I did all of that, but still the weight kept creeping on throughout the years. By the time I was always a little bit overweight as a child. And then I got to my 20s and I was like 200 something pounds, but the weight just kept coming on. And then I would go on these crazy diets where I would lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds. I think I would lose like 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds, or gain 30 pounds after. I would binge. I binged a lot. I would try to purge with laxatives sometimes. Sometimes I just gave up on it. But a lot of binging, as you remember, I binged all the time, and everything would trigger me. Being happy was a trigger. Being stressed was a trigger. Going to an event was a trigger. Everything was a trigger. I even tried to control the binging where I would binge maybe like once a week or binge every 2 weeks, maybe binge once a month because I felt like I needed that. I could not live without binging. There was no other way. Having food in my house, like everything triggered me. Like everything would be a trigger to binge. So I did all of that. And then I got pregnant, had my first daughter in 2017. And that's when my weight really went out of control. I left my old job, opened a business, and that's quite stressful. So just the weight just kept creeping on. I got up to 322 pounds in 2019.
I just want to stop you for a second because you're a lawyer. I just want to just share a
Yes.
little bit about your life, right? Like you're a lawyer, you own your own business, you are a high level quality person as far as how you view yourself in the world, right? Like the way
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how old are you?
I just turned 40 a month ago.
Yay.
Today.
Perfect. I think it's really important to, also for people to understand that it's never too late to change. It really is something that you could do at any point. So I just wanted the listeners to hear your age and the fact that you do have a very kind of girl boss like job and you are living in a hustle kind of culture situation. And this was really possible for you. So,
yeah. So then I got up to 322 pounds, 2019. I started doing more videos for my business, and I was like, okay, I need to learn how to do makeup. And I felt like the way I looked mattered to me for the first time in a long time. And with that went, weight loss was a part of it. I started exercising, eating healthier, but I went about it all the wrong ways, being crazy about calories, trying to control the binging. I would binge every 2 weeks. Every Saturday night, I binged. I remember one time I was going to order my binge food and the restaurant was closed. And that I went on a spiral. I was like, what do you mean? I was like almost violent. I was so angry that I could not get, like, this is crazy. It's addict behavior. It really is. It's not like looking back, I'm like, man, it's so not a big deal. If today I was gonna order I was looking forward to getting something and the restaurant closed, okay, like I'll just get it tomorrow. Nobody died, but did you die? No, But that I almost got violent. I remember being angry and like throwing the phone, like this is insane. They closed at 6. I would have ordered earlier, and I had to eat this today. I have to eat it today. All these rules. I lost a lot of weight. I think I lost maybe like 50 pounds, 60 pounds. And then I went through something stressful at work and I put it all back on and more. And that's when I found you and we started this journey. And in working with you, there was a lot of grieving. Remember all my crying sessions? I remember one time you were going through my journal and there was a piece of cake and you told me, you get to eat half. And I started crying. Remember that day? I started crying like a little girl. I'm like, what do you mean? I want to eat it. And you're like, why are you so emotional? It's just cake. And I was so like, but I really want to eat it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I do remember. Why do you think it worked working with me?
Well, I need accountability. So the fact that we always had their calls and the journal was a really great tool, which like I didn't lose any weight the last couple weeks. I didn't gain either. I just maintained. And then I was like, but I haven't been journaling because I just got you. I kind of eat the same thing every day anyways. And I'm like, let me journal because then I'm going to see like, the bites here and there.
You're talking about now.
Now,
like,
yeah.
Okay. Today,
now, yeah. So the journal is a great tool because you had the journal where I had to take pictures of everything. And a lot of times we eat very mindlessly or we eat out of habit. I remember you were asking me like, but are you hungry when you eat this? And I'm like, I don't know. I eat this every day. I've been eating it for years. And you're like, right, but why? And I'm like, I just do. Why are you asking me this? It's breakfast. And you're like, right, but are you hungry? And I was like, well, tell me what hunger is. And then you taught me that, it's so many things. It's amazing. Like you're a miracle worker. I've been struggling with this my whole life. And you did it. Like we did it,
I mean, we did it, and I feel like, do you want to talk a little bit about your journey with when you got pregnant at all?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got pregnant and I got pregnant with an IUD on and it was oh my gosh, it was so stressful. It was one of the most stressful times of my life. And then I did put on weight, but a lot of it was because the pregnancy was so swollen. I had the baby in 2024 and then the weight, kind of like I lost like 40 pounds in a month just from the water weight. But then my old habits were creeping in and trying to breastfeed and not sleeping. And then you're like, okay, let's go back to the journaling. Let's do this again. You have it in you. And it was a lot easier once I kind of had it in me. I just had to wake up that part of myself again and go back to everything.
Yeah. And it's really important to realize that everything is really in you because something that I think I've heard from people who do want to do this work with me potentially one-on-one, because we worked one-on-one, since we've worked together, I have distilled a lot of that process and that methodology into the sober eating sequence, which is the self-guided program with the sober eating playbook, which refers to it's self-guided, but it refers to a lot of what you're talking about with the journaling, a lot of the same prompts and all that. But a lot of people worry that when they work with somebody one-on-one, like we did, they're going to become codependent on me. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really important that I always tell people who worry about that. And I'm like, no, I am so obsessed with making sure that you are not dependent on me. But I think it'll be really important. And but I think it's important for you to explain maybe how I make sure that at the end of the day, you are not dependent on me forever as somebody that is your accountability person forever. And how part of the work is making sure that you are autonomous with the skills without me.
Yeah. So I have to say, you would never let that happen. Like, let somebody be codependent on you. You'd be like, nope. But with me, it was a year ago, I went on the Disney cruise And we had talked about it, had planned for it, but then my Wi-Fi was very spotty and I couldn't journal. And I remember the first day, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not posting. I would like try to post, keep trying to post. And it wasn't posting. And then I said, F it, I'm just going to eat then. Since, mom's not here, I can do whatever I want. And then finally when we docked, I was like, hey, Alana, my internet's back. I didn't do so great, but I'm eating great today. And then we had our call like a couple of days later, and you're like, who cares if I wasn't there? Like, you know what to do. And I'm like, what do I do if the journal's not working, if I don't have Wi-Fi? And you're like, well, you grab a piece of paper and you write it down because it's for you. It's not for me. It's your body, And then you're like, from here on out, you're going to journal yourself. Like, don't show me. I want you to do it. And I was like, but I'm paying you for this. What do you mean? And you're like, no, but it's for you. It's not for me. So you would not let that happen. And then once that was like, I think the last key that turned for me, because I was like, yeah, it is for me. She's right. Like, I'm not going to be with you for the rest of my life for the next 40 years. So I have to do this for myself because I'm worth it. And then I just kept doing it. And I was like, okay. And then after kind of like you get in the routine and you eat the same things. I eat the same thing almost every day. And then it's like, okay, this is what I do now,
Totally. And so can you share more about how you incorporate maybe foods that you used to binge on, or like foods that you used to think were bad, or how you have evolved your behavior patterns around food? I feel like your Disney cruise was a big one for us. There were a lot of rituals that you had there. How do you go about that now?
So it was a whole process. It wasn't easy and it wasn't fast by any means, but it was so worth it. So worth it. Like I told you in our last session that we both cried. I know I'm not at my goal weight yet, but I would take this Jamille over with this body, with this weight over the Jamille that I was before, because I just love being this person, I said I wasn't going to cry, but like the tears are coming. I love myself. I really do. Even the bad parts, like I'm stressed out. I'm always like, go, go, go. But I like being that way because I get things done. And that's such an amazing thing of me that I finally like have accepted who I am. But to share. So it wasn't like I can have the binge foods in my house today, but I couldn't for a long time. There was a lot of times you said, well, if you're not ready yet, just don't get it, or get like a single serving pack. Remember you said that to me?
Yep.
Don't get like a whole bag of candy if you know that you're not ready yet. And that's fine. Take your time. It's okay to voice it to your family and say, hey, this is a trigger for me. I'm not quite ready to have this yet. And with my daughter, she wanted ice cream. We would go to the ice cream place, eat it there. And then whatever didn't get eaten gets thrown away. And then we come back to the house. I wouldn't have a tub of ice cream at the house.
You've built a good life. From the outside, it looks like you have it all together. You eat clean, you work hard, you take care of everyone. But there's this one area that still feels impossible to master, and that is food. You can eat perfectly all day and still end up in the kitchen at night wondering why you keep doing this. You promise yourself you'll start fresh tomorrow, and I know you mean it every single time. But the cycle, it always finds its way back, especially when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, or when you're just tired of being the one that's holding it all together. And I get it because I lived that way for years. And what I learned is this: the problem, it was never about food. It was the pressure underneath it, the perfectionism, the self-doubt, the part of me that never felt safe and secure to just be me. And that's why I created the sober eating sequence. It's a proven 3-phase method that rewires the emotional patterns and the belief systems driving overeating so you can relax, trust yourself around food, and release weight completely naturally, without force and without obsession. Because when your body feels secure, it lets go. The cravings quiet, the self-punishment, it softens, and food, it stops being the thing that you have to fix. This is not another plan. This isn't another rule book. It's a revolutionary transformation for your nervous system, for your body, and for your identity. So join the sober eating movement today.
So it took some time to do it that way. Buffets and like bakeries were like, oh my gosh, I couldn't walk into one and I would just want to eat everything. And I felt like I was missing out if I didn't everything on trips. I would feel like I was missing out if I didn't eat every single pastry in France. But what do you mean? Like, I'm not here just one time. I have to eat it. And now I just have so much peace. It's so weird to explain because when I would hear these podcasts years ago, I'd be like, how? And now I'm that person. It's so crazy. But now, like, let's say if I woke up today and my husband said, hey, let's go to Mexico, no plan, I have no idea what I'm eating, I have no idea what's in there, I would still be okay. Because I know to walk in, even if the only thing available is bread, I would just have like a little slice and that's it. And I would like ask, hey, but you cannot be, they don't have like a banana here. What kind of restaurant is this? And I would find something, but like when I go to a buffet now, I'm excited about it. Remember, I also had shame when I told you, I remember I cried in that session when I said, I'm looking forward to going to this restaurant, and I cried. And you're like, but why are you so emotional? I'm like, oh, because I'm 38 years old. I should not, feel this way about food. And you're like, but it's okay to be excited. That's good. And then I remember my stepdaughter, who has no issues with weight, super skinny. I heard her say that, oh, I'm really looking forward to going to this restaurant. I'm looking forward to eating this food. And I'm like, okay, this is healthy. This is not weird. I'm just putting thoughts into it so I look forward to it now, But I know I have a light breakfast because we talked about this too, how if, let's say, I had a light breakfast and I'm starting to get hungry around like 11, and it's 11:30, 12, I haven't eaten yet, I would get really hangry and I had to get the appetizers. I wouldn't wait. And you taught me that too. But okay, you didn't eat for an hour, but did you die? And it's like, okay, no, I'm okay. Like, I can wait. Nothing happens if I don't eat. Like, nothing happens. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's fine. So I know to just wait because I actually want to be hungry to enjoy the meal. I'm not going to enjoy it as much if I'm full from breakfast. So I wait to be hungry to eat, and I eat it, and that's it. And I have a little dessert, and I'm good. And I remember one of the buffets that I went to when we were doing all this work. Very important, they also taught me that feelings are temporary. Even the urge to eat, it's going to pass. You're not going to have it forever. I remember going to a buffet also at Disney. I'm a Disney adult, in case people couldn't tell. I love Disney. I went to a buffet at Disney, and I remember telling you the desserts were so beautiful and looked so amazing, and I wanted to eat every single one of them. And by the time we had our call a week later, I couldn't even tell what the desserts were. I didn't remember anymore. That. So it's like, so it really was just temporary. I didn't have to give in to that urge to eat. I could have, just eaten this and it would have been fine by the next day. And so I remember that too. Even if the urge comes, it doesn't come as strongly anymore, but sometimes it's still there. And I'm like, by whatever feeling, actually apply that to all areas of my life now. Like yesterday, I placed a couple orders online that I wanted them to, and they need to be here this week because we're traveling next week. And I was checking yesterday, the package is delayed because the holidays, turns out it might not be here. I tried to upgrade it, but it wasn't working. I got frustrated and I felt that charged energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so insane. It's not here. And I paid for this. And I was like, okay, it's going to pass. By tomorrow, I'm not going to be feeling this way. And it is what it is. If I don't get the package, I don't get the package. Totally. I didn't die. But that feeling passed. So this morning I woke up, one package will be here, the other one might not. It's okay, life goes on. But the charged energy was gone. So I applied that to all areas of my life now. Even if I feel the urge to eat something, I tell myself the urge will be gone. This is temporary. I don't have to react to every single feeling that I have.
Exactly. That is the pure measure of maturity, and I feel like that is really the place that we want to get to. And then also there could be times where you do have the urge and then maybe you do give in a little, and like that's okay also. Nothing is so black and white, but I think that it can sound so simple, right? To just let it be, right? And just let the urge come and just, let it go. But it is a training of your nervous system.
Yeah, it is.
And it is a process to get to that place where it's a lived dynamic within you rather than a performance that you're just trying to do all the time. And then you feel like you have to keep up with,
Yeah, for sure.
So good. Amazing. You look so pretty. I'm like, I can't even, you always look pretty, but I really could see the differences physically, I think.
And everybody's telling me that, like everyone. And remember, a big thing for me, we talked about this so much, was being able to fit on rides, which someone who has not been, crazy obese like I was, will never know test seats are there for us to sit to know we fit. It's not just for pictures or because they look good. But the first couple of times I went in July to the new park that they have here, Epic, and I was really nervous. I was following people online that are like obese to see if they fit. I was like measuring. I really like when I was like so nervous, and I'm like, okay, I fit, no problem. And then I unfollowed them because I don't want that in my space. And then I went again, and this time I was like, I'm not even gonna do the test seat because I know I fit. I weigh less than I did last time, so okay. And I went right in. And then the last time I didn't even think about it. I just went right in. And I was like, yay, this is what life is about. It's not just about food. It's about this stuff.
Yeah, 100%. It's about living.
Yeah.
And enjoying and, having pleasure with things and being excited. And like you said, looking and feeling good in your body. And for you, I think it's such an inspirational thing to hear you want to lose the weight from a place of self-respect.
Yeah.
And I think that is such an important message, because I think a lot of times people think that means that you hate yourself if you want to lose weight. But when you know yourself and you're like, I know that I want to be in a certain, body weight and body type, and so that I can enjoy life better. I think that type of self-awareness and willingness to prioritize that is really inspirational.
Yeah, for sure. I went shopping for clothes a couple weeks ago, and it was like amazing. I got a bunch of new suits. I'm not plus size anymore. And the clothes that I got like a month later, they were loose on me. My mom had to take them in. It's a good problem to have, but I was excited. Like, remember before I would only wear black suits all the time? I got a red one. I got a purple one, like, ooh, okay. I would not wear these colors before.
Yeah.
Now I do. It's like, bright pink, all these colors that I love, and they look good on me. And everybody's like, you look great. You look great. Did you get this? Did you get whatever done? I'm like, no. Did you get your hair done? No. I just dried it. Everybody's asking me all the time if somebody asked me if I got my lips done. I'm like, no, I just put a lipstick. But everybody's always telling me like how good I look. Men hit on me at like CVS. I was like, are you talking to me?
I mean, so I'm not crazy. Shocked. Not surprised at all. Do you feel like you're at your goal?
No, I'm still a few pounds away. Probably. Okay. I want to get to, I don't know if is it okay to share how much I weigh here?
Yeah, we'll just say your height also.
Okay.
You want.
I'm 5'10", so I can get, I'm taller. I know you're so tiny, Alana. You always told me.
I'm like 5'1.5", so,
yeah, you're probably like here. But I'm 5'10", but I used to weigh 322. Right now I am 223, so that's why it's 99. But my goal weight, is like 180 or so, and I'll see how I feel. I want to get to the healthy weight range.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no doubt that you'll get there, right? Yeah. I mean, I feel like you just have to keep going with the process. What's your exercise routine now? I know you had like a relationship with exercise too, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and also I wanted to mention all my health issues are gone too. I remember I had like, I was on anxiety medication when I met you. I had a fatty liver disease. I had all kinds of stuff. It's all gone. And my blood pressure has been stable for a while. I have a doctor appointment this week. I'm going to ask to get off blood pressure medication too. So everything just like resolves itself with being healthier, But I started doing walks in the morning. Waking up at 5 a month ago, and it's been amazing. I always did cardio. I do cardio 4 times a week. I also do weights. I don't love exercising. I'm not saying that I love it, but I do love how it makes me feel. And I've never gone back to exercise and thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Kind of like when you eat too much and you're like, man, I shouldn't have ate so much. I've never gone back to exercise and thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I've always not regretted it. So I know it's good for me. But I'm doing cardio at like 5:30, from 5:30 to 6:15 every day. But it's not because, I'm going to burn 400 calories. It's not because I'm going to eat, an extra piece of cake today. I don't even track calories anymore. It's just because when I do that, I start the day off on a good foot. And I'm like, okay, I already did something for myself today. So today's going to be a great day. Mm-hmm. And also I feel like I have an abundance of time in the morning. I'm not rushing to get my kids ready, to get myself ready. I always leave the house early because I woke up early and I did everything. And also I have silence for an hour before my girls wake up. And I can listen to a podcast and not have anybody say, mom, mom, mom. So that's been really good. But I do go to sleep at like 8:30.
Yeah, no, I mean, the quiet time, the prioritizing your time for you and just not getting inputs from other people in your life, I think is so, so key.
Yeah.
And I think all these things together have just kind of congealed and alchemized into the results. And I'm just so proud of you. I really am. I'm so, so, so proud of you. So
Thanks.
happy to be
Yay.
like a part of your journey. And I'm really happy that you reached out to share your story. I think so many women, men, people are going to be inspired by, the road you took, and it wasn't an overnight success and there were a
No.
lot of ups and downs. You always were moving towards a goal and a life that deep down you always knew that you deserved, which I think was really, really important to start from that place.
It's just amazing how everything really is your mindset. And once you start changing your habits, like I think I shared on the our group for Halloween this year. Halloween was always crazy. Like I was like, it's a binge day. It's a binge day. Like just it is what it is, you know. Even when I was working with you, it was still like Halloween. Remember, Halloween was so hard for me always. And then this year, I'm like, no, this is going to be different. You know, I planned for it, but I did end up eating more than I would have. But I didn't spiral. That was the difference from this year to all the other years. Is the not spiraling. If you just if I just don't spiral, it's like everything is okay. Because the spiraling before, okay, I overate on Halloween, which is a Friday. Saturday, I'm not exercising. I'm having a big breakfast, and then it just keeps on going. And it's like, no, Saturday was a just regular day. And I told my daughter, we have all this candy at the house. We're going to separate a few. The rest, gets to get donated. And that's it, and this life goes on. And I may not have lost weight that week, but I also didn't gain 20 pounds like before, 10 pounds, or felt like crap 4 days. And I've also noticed if I give in to the voice, like that day I gave in to the voice and I overate, the voice is so much louder the next day than it usually, because now it's like so quiet. It's like in the back. But then when I give in, it's loud. So I have to really be like, okay, no, no, thank you, but I don't need you anymore. And you just move on and then it gets quiet again. But it's really all in your mind.
100%. It's 100% it is in your mind, but it is in your actions.
Yes.
You can't just know, you have to
No, you have to
actually
do
like
it.
take the effort and do it. And I think
Hmm.
that connect could sometimes be a challenge.
For sure.
But you only can get the new mindset with a new perspective, but also new behaviors and
Yes.
actions. And you definitely are such an amazing example of that. And yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I could see and just feel the difference in in your energy and just the whole thing, the whole
Yay.
essence. It's just so much softer also and just embodied in yourself. And I could tell it's who you are now.
Yeah.
And it's also not a rigid thing. It's not something that you're worried
Hmm.
about losing, because I know that that's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Amazing. Well, Jamille,
Yay.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone listening, thank you so much for listening as well. If you have any questions, comments, as always, you can leave comments on our YouTube channel or on Spotify. And until next time, I'm Alana, and thank you for listening to Emotional Eating Unwrapped.